Your backsplash is basically the profile picture of your kitchen. It's the first thing people noticed, and whether you like it or not, they're making judgments about who you are based on what they see. I'm Blake, and welcome back to Built by Becker. I've been designing and installing backsplashes for over 10 years, and trust me, I can tell you everything about a homeowner just by looking at what they put on their kitchen walls. Today, we're diving into 2025 backsplash trends, and I'm gonna tell you what each trend says about your personality, your priorities, and probably your bank account too. I know, whether you're the type who researches every decision for 6 months, or the guy who walks into Home Depot and points at whatever looks good, there's a backsplash trend that matches your vibe perfectly. Hit that subscribe button if you want more real talk about home design, and make sure to watch this video till the end. It might save you from making some expensive mistakes. Let's break down the 2025 trends and figure out which one matches your actual personality. First on the docket, solid slab backsplashes. If you're drawn to solid slab backsplashes, you're probably someone who appreciates quality over quantity, values clean lines, and has strong opinions about craftsmanship. You're willing to invest in things that are done right the first time. Solid slab backsplashes are having a major moment in 2025, and for good reason. We're talking about continuous pieces of quartz, quartzite, granite that run from your countertop all the way up the wall with zero grout lines. It's sleek, it's sophisticated, and it communicates, I know what I want. I installed a black quartz slab backsplash for a client last year, someone who really wanted their kitchen to reflect the same attention to detail that they brought in every other area of their life. The slab cost more than some people's entire kitchen renovations. But when you walked into that space, you immediately understood that this was someone who valued quality over everything else. So here's what choosing a slab backsplash says about you. You're practical but refined. You want something that looks expensive without being flashy. You probably research major purchases thoroughly, read reviews, and aren't easily swayed by whatever's popular this week. You're the type who buys once and expects it to last for decades. The beauty of a slab backsplash is in the simplicity. No grout lines to clean, no intricate patterns to maintain, no small tiles to replace if something gets damaged. It's the design equivalent of a perfectly tailored outfit. Understated, but undeniably high quality. If you go with white or light gray quartz, you're playing it safe but smart. It'll work with any design changes and won't go out of style. Choose dramatic black slab or white veining if you're showing everyone you got confidence in your aesthetic choices. Pick natural marble or granite if you're saying you appreciate authenticity and aren't afraid of a little maintenance. So in short, solid slab backsplashes are a fit for the minimalist ones. Next on the docket will be retro-inspired tiles. Speaking of people who aren't afraid to make a statement, let's talk about homeowners gravitating towards retro-inspired backsplashes. If this trend speaks to you, you're probably someone who has interest in hobbies, appreciates unique design, and doesn't mind standing out from the crowd. The retro trend in 2025 isn't about recreating your grandmother's kitchen. It's about taking vintage elements and giving them a contemporary edge. We're seeing geometric shapes, muted vintage colors like olive green and sea blue, and ceramic tiles with hand-painted or wallpaper-like motifs that feel both nostalgic and fresh. This says that you've got personality and you're not afraid to express it. You probably have strong opinions about design and aesthetics. You're the type who would rather have something unique that reflects your personal style than something safe that everyone else has. The key with retro backsplashes is knowing where to use them. They work brilliantly in small spaces like wet bars, coffee stations, or powder rooms, where they can be a focal point without overwhelming the entire kitchen. If you're doing a full kitchen backsplash with retro tiles, you'll need to balance them with more neutral elements elsewhere. And that brings us to the color psychology aspect. Choose those dusty pastels, and you're showing you appreciate subtle and sophistication. Go with bolder, vintage colors like deep teal or burnt orange, and you're telling everyone you're confident, maybe a little adventurous, and definitely not boring. Now, once you got that figured out, you'll need to understand that retro and style doesn't mean cheap or gimmicky. The best examples of this trend use high-quality ceramic tiles with precise manufacturing and thoughtful color palettes. It's vintage inspiration executed with modern materials and techniques. That being said, there's another trend we're seeing a lot this year: subway tiles, but with a twist. If you're still drawn to subway tiles but want something more than basic white rectangles, you're probably someone who appreciates classics but isn't stuck in the past. You respect proven solutions but like to make them your own. Subway tiles are getting a serious upgrade in 2025, and it's about time. We're seeing two-tone combinations, creative patterns like herringbone and chevron, bold colors, and even colored grout that adds depth and visual impact. It's taking something everyone knows and making it interesting again. For the longest time, subway tiles were the go-to choice when you wanted something clean and classic. They were safe, reliable, and let's be honest, kind of predictable. The white 3x6 rectangle laid in a brick pattern was basically the default setting for backsplashes. It worked for just about every kitchen style, from traditional to modern, but somewhere along the way, it got a little boring. Now, the old school subway tile is getting much needed refresh, and the new versions are anything but basic. Designers are breathing life into this staple by playing with color, layout, and tiny details that make a huge impact. One of the first things you'll notice is white is no longer the only player in the game. Two-tone color schemes are becoming incredibly popular, like pairing a warm neutral with a soft blush or mixing deep forest green with ivy for something that feels elevated but still approachable. Some designers are even combining bold colors with more subdued tones, creating subtle transition or eye-catching contrast depending on how the light hits it. It's all about layering personality into something that used to feel purely functional. But it's not all about color. You can change the layout. Instead of the traditional horizontal brick pattern, people are now stacking subway tiles vertically to create a taller, sleeker look that feels unexpectedly modern. Others are going for more dynamic patterns like herringbone or chevron, which add movement and texture to the wall without overwhelming the space. Even the stair-step layout, where there's tiles rise diagonally like stairs, give a simple backsplash a quirky custom feel. These layouts are clever because they don't require dramatic change in material or cost, but they completely shift the energy of the kitchen.
Hey, I'm Blake from Built by Becker, and we just wrapped up an installation of this VEISE digital doorknob. This one has multiple functions. It has the keypad, it has the physical key, and my favorite, the fingerprint recognizer. So if you're someone like me who forgets their keys quite often, or even their passcodes, you can use your fingerprint and open that door right up. And if you have people who come and go in your home, you can set a one-time password so that your home can be safe for those individual uses, plus your personal passcode. So this is a home run in our book. We are super happy on how these perform on all of our job sites.
And then there's grout. Yes, grout. That little detail we used to ignore is having a moment. Colored grout is being used to either highlight or soften the lines of tile. For example, dark charcoal grout around pink pale tiles adds dimension and a bit of edge. Soft green grout with white tiles makes the whole kitchen feel fresher, almost garden inspired. Add high contrast combinations like black tiles with white grout or vice versa. Turn the backsplash into a statement feature, almost like artwork. It's a simple thing to change, but it makes everything feel more intentional and designed. The next trend, muted neutral tones. Now, let's talk about people who gravitate toward muted neutral backsplashes. The soft whites, grays, and beiges that continue to dominate kitchen design. If this is your style, you're probably someone who values longevity over trends, think things through before making decisions, and understands that sometimes the best choice is the one that won't go out of style. Neutral backsplashes in 2025 aren't boring, they're sophisticated. We're seeing gray marble with delicate veining, frosted glass tiles that reflect light and make spaces feel larger, and muted beige that works as the perfect backdrop for everything else in your kitchen. Whether you're layering them with textured materials like oak or pairing them with sleek metals and polished stone, they just work. You could easily build an entire kitchen or bathroom around these hues and never feel like you're stuck with a trend that'll look dated in a year. That's kind of the magic. They're timeless, but they still feel fresh. People and designers especially love them because they're subtle contrast without the drama. They're not going from black to white, but from oat milk to warm clay. It's a shift that barely is noticeable until you step back and realize how calm the space feels. That's why you see these tones showing up everywhere. And it's not just about color itself, but the finish. Matte surfaces and these muted hues look especially luxurious. They absorb light rather than bouncing it, which makes everything feel soft and smoothing. It's like visual comfort food. There's also a practicality to muted neutrals that homeowners are starting to appreciate more and more. They hide everyday wear and tear way better than stark whites or high gloss gloss finishes. A soft beige cabinet won't scream every fingerprint. A taupe tile won't make you panic every time someone drops a splash of pasta sauce. And when life happens, because it always does, these colors have a way of disguising the chaos without sacrificing style. If that's you, this style screams your name. But we're not done yet. There's a bonus. There's a growing group of homeowners who aren't content with just one backsplash material or style. If you're attached to the idea of mixing different tiles, materials, or patterns in the same kitchen, you're probably someone who likes to create complex projects, enjoys problem solving. So if this video helped you, hit the like and subscribe button for more. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, go ahead and drop a comment. I love to respond to every single comment that is out there, guys. So tell me what you think about this video. And hey, you want to see more? Hit that bell so it reminds you when I'm coming out with my next video. Thanks again for watching Built by Becker.